Watching Rossini through the lens of historical performance can give us such a big insight into not only why his music was so successful, but how great the music really is. So many colors, so many details of his composing style, of his way of treating orchestra and voices alike are so unique and so influential and so seminal in the whole landscape of the 19th century.
My personal connection with Rossini is the training that I've done as an opera singer, and Rossini, of course, is core repertoire for that. So it's very nice to connect back to the dramatic nature of Rossini's work and bring that into a choral context. This choir, the Monteverdi Choir, is very experienced at bringing to life the drama of these pieces in quite simple stagings. And the ORR, the Orchestre Révolutionnaire Romantique, also brings that sense of drama. So we love it when we get the chance to take a dramatic work and bring it to life on stage just with the raw bones of the music and the text, and bringing those two things together to find the drama. What I'm really enjoying about this performance and this project with Jakob is how much he loves this music, and he really knows it. His scholarship is evident from minute one of the rehearsals.
The Stabat Mater is such a unique piece. There's not really another piece by him that has such a variety of form. Rossini, interestingly enough, did not conduct this premiere himself. He invited Gaetano Donizetti, his younger composer colleague, who was much more a conductor in the modern sense than Rossini was, to conduct these premieres in Bologna, the Italian first performances of that piece. And we have a fascinating source which we really used as a backdrop for our interpretation, and that is the conducting score that Donizetti used to perform this piece, to conduct from. And he wrote in quite a few interesting details of interpretation during the rehearsals with Rossini. So we have pushing and pulling in the tempo, a lot of time to let the words go, but also speeding up through a phrase to kind of let the excitement take over. And then we have a couple of ornaments, a couple of cadenzas that trace back to these performances in Bologna as well. And we have been using them as a starting point for this interpretation, and I really enjoy being inspired by the music and going beyond what's written on the page and finding out what is the musical language, what is the vocabulary that was used in Rossini's time, and what do these signs on the page actually mean.
Playing Rossini on period instruments, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities actually. Not only with this 19th century idea of stretching the time and the flexibility in the time, but also the palette of colours that the orchestra can give us. I always think of two quite key clarinet players at the time of Rossini, Benedetto Carulli and his student Cavallini, principal clarinet at La Scala and also professor at the Milan Conservatorium. They called him the Paganini of the clarinet. The interesting thing is, at that time, the practice initially was to play with the reed on top. And I just often think, how on earth did they manage technique-wise to do all this incredibly virtuosic passage work that he gives us? But apparently they were phenomenal. So it's interesting to consider articulation and stuff like that, knowing that the way of playing the instrument was actually very different.
In Italian orchestras in that time, there were always more double basses than cellos and violas, and we are doing it here with 7 double basses for 6 violas and 6 cellos. All the 7 basses in this orchestra are employing 3-string instruments, not the usual 4-string or 5-string we use today. That sound of the 3-string never overshadows anything, but it gives this incredible kind of foundation of sound, this kind of velvet underneath. We're following one important aspect also of orchestra placement, in which the bass group is not in one corner of the orchestra, but kind of stereophonically, just like the violins, in fact, on both sides of the stage. And that, again, gives this idea of a surround sound of the bass group, which is something that I will never be able to go without in that music again, because it just makes such a fundamental difference. And I hope it gives an insight into what performance practice, might have been in that time.